Hello, welcome back to Selena's table and our little Aussie homestead. I'm Selena. This is my kitchen. Today I'm going to just do a couple of freezer meals. Now, if you saw my video a few weeks back where I did some freezer chicken marinade packs and some cottage pie, we had audio issues with that one, so I do apologize. I am going to go through over the next few weeks remaking all of those dishes. So don't stress if you liked something on there and you couldn't catch what I was saying. It's okay. There will be new versions of it coming soon. So today I'm going to remake a couple of the things, but not everything that was in that video. I'm going to make 3 different chicken marinade packs, and I'm going to make 2 something with my sausage meat. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I'll figure that out as I go. I've been out to the garden. I've grabbed a few herbs and bits and pieces, and I want to show you how we put together some of these recipes. We're in the kitchen again today. So yesterday was grocery day for our family, and this is how I meal plan. I don't meal plan before I go to the shop. I used to do that before prices went crazy. Now what I do in order to save as much money as possible is I will double check what I've already got. I'll buy the protein that I need, for example, some chicken, some beef mince, whatever it is we sort of think we'll be having. And then from there, I'll work out what we will have for the next fortnight. I shop fortnightly. I would like to shop monthly, and I will be moving to doing that next year. But right now, it's fortnightly. So yesterday, I was able to pick up 2 of these packs of chicken breast. So I'm going to get 3 freezer meals out of those, 3 freezer marinade packs. One of them will be like a dump and go that we just pop in the slow cooker for easy, really easy cooking. And I also got a big, this is a low quality beef mince. So this is what I make my burgers out of and things like that. Meatballs, burgers, sausage patties, stuff like that is made out of a lower quality beef mince, only because it's got a higher fat content, and I don't mind that being in my burgers. But when it comes to making something like a spaghetti bolognese or a cottage pie or something like that where I really want the mince to shine, I buy a better quality beef mince. You do whatever works for you though. So I did also pick up 2 kilos of the good quality beef mince that I buy from our local butcher, and I have broken that down into 5 400-gram packs, and they are in the freezer. So that will be things like spaghetti, tacos, I don't know, whatever else I feel like making when I feel like cooking at nighttime. These dishes that I'm doing today, these live in the freezer for really easy cooking. Okay, so what I'm going to end up making today with the chicken is I'm going to do an apricot chicken. That will be our dump and go. I'm going to do a pesto ranch chicken. That one was in the other freezer video. And I'm going to do a creamy sun-dried tomato chicken. And that one will get cooked, and I'll just add pasta to that. So that will be served with pasta. So some of these things will be just set and forget, and other things I do have to do something the night we actually enjoy eating them. So I did get some of these little Ziploc baggie holders. I'm very excited. I haven't used them yet. They arrived this week. So what I've got here is my freezer Ziploc bags. Okay, and I'm just going to label on them what they are. So on these Ziploc bags, I'm just going to write what they are. So this one's apricot chicken. And then I do just usually write a little thing to say how to cook it. So this one is just slow cook, dump and go. Like that. In case I'm not the person who ends up putting it together, someone else can follow the instructions. So that will be that one. This is pesto ranch. This one is cooked in a glass baking dish, and we serve it alongside a garlic yogurt sauce, some flatbreads and lettuce usually, or some other salad ingredients. And I'm just going to write on this one to bake it. And the other one is our creamy, sun-dried tomato chicken. I'm just going to write add pasta. So the creamy sun-dried tomato chicken is one that I usually make fresh just to enjoy, but I decided that it would be a really good freezer meal as well, especially if I get sick or, you know, I don't feel like cooking but someone else wants something yummy, they can put it together. So in these, I'm just going to put them in their little stands. So these extend, so that'll hold a big bag and you can go down to hold a smaller bag. And they just hold onto the baggie like that. And then they sit and you can just put your things in there without worrying that it's going to spill over. So as I did before, I'm going to make up all the bags and then pop the chicken in, because some of this chicken will be just move you to the side. I'm going to work on pesto ranch first. So we want some pesto. This is homemade pesto, and it's actually the last of my pesto, so I'm looking forward to my basil growing so that I can get some more pesto made. So that's about half a cup of pesto in that one. Onion powder. Half a tablespoon of onion and half a tablespoon of garlic powder. Salt and pepper, 1 teaspoon of each. There's oil in this one, a couple of tablespoons of oil. Okay, I picked these flowers too. I've got to find a vase for those. So this one has parsley, which I actually want to keep some for another dish. Parsley, dill, chives, parsley, dill and chives. Okay, so I'm going to chop these up. Stalks and all. When it comes to the herbs, just be as generous as you like. I'm just using what I picked, so a little handful of each one. I don't have much dill out there, so it's got a little bit less dill. That is that one done. Give it a bit of a mix up. And we can set him aside until we put the chicken in there. Next one is apricot chicken. Apricot chicken is salt and pepper, teaspoon of each. Some fresh garlic, okay, onion powder, 2 tablespoons, onion flakes, so these are just dried onion flakes, so we're looking at probably, I'll measure it. 2 of these, 2 tablespoons of these. And then 2 cans of apricot nectar. If you have canned apricots, I would also add a can of those, but I have run out. So I'm just going to use the nectar. And this is where these bag holders are great, because I'm pouring liquid in here and it is not going anywhere. So that is 800 mils. Okay, I want to put some oregano and just a little bit of parsley in this one as well. That one's done. And now for the sun-dried tomato. This is a cream-based one. So again, we're going to add, this is heavy on garlic, this one. We're going to add 3 teaspoons of garlic, or 3 cloves, salt, a teaspoon, pepper, teaspoon. Some herbs are, I've got, I'm going to use what I've got left. I've got 1 little chive there, so I'm going to throw it in. But it's normally just basil, a little bit of basil, a little bit of oregano, and a little bit of parsley. Okay, I just want to finely chop all that up. When you go to serve every one of these dishes, once they're cooked, just give it a taste. It may need a little more salt or pepper. And this one is really nice with a little bit of parmesan sprinkled on top as well. Sun-dried tomato. So there's our herbs and our garlic. Sun-dried tomatoes. Now I sun-dried these myself, well, with my dehydrator. These are all just little cherry tomatoes, and they are dehydrated until almost done. So they just have that little bit of movement to them still. They weren't crispy. And then I've just popped them in a jar, filled it up with olive oil so that they're completely covered. I added a little sprig of basil and a clove or 2, I think just 1 clove of garlic in there. And that's sun-dried tomatoes for you. So, because these are cherry tomatoes, as you can see, I'm not going to chop these up. If you had a jar of like larger sun-dried tomatoes, just give them a chop. So I just want to add, I'm probably going to add almost half this jar of the tomatoes. I want to leave the basil and the garlic in there. I will take some of the oil, but I want to get the tomatoes first. So probably about 1/4 cup of sun-dried tomatoes. Okay. And about 2 tablespoons of the oil. And these just live in our fridge. And to that, I'm going to add 500 mils. You can use 600 though, if that's what the quantity is that your cream comes in. I buy these long life creams. They're a little bit dearer than fresh cream, but I just know that I've always got cream on hand with these. And now I'm going to get the chicken ready. So I'm just going to clean up any of the little bits of fat or bristly bits off my chicken. That one's looking pretty good. Okay, and for the sun-dried tomato chicken, I want small pieces. And I'm thinking I'm going to do 2 of these breasts. So about, you know, 1 centimetre by 1 centimetre roughly. Straight in the bag. Apologies if you can hear my dishwasher. I swear my dishwasher's always going. That one is done. So we're just going to get as much air out as we can without spilling out our contents. Because this one's got cream in it, and the same with the apricot chicken, you want to make sure it's really well sealed. You don't want any leakage. Give it a good massage. And that's our first one done. So I'll set that aside and we'll move on to the next one. Next up is pesto ranch. Just getting rid of any blood spots or sinewy bits. That. Pesto ranch I like to chop into pieces like this. Okay. And just pop them in the bag. And I will do 3 of these breasts because they're not the largest ones. If they were bigger, I'd do 2, but they're pretty small actually. And the apricot chicken is going to get cut in the same way. Just some bigger pieces, like that. Going to get rid of my board and wash my hands. Okay, these are done. They've got their chicken in them now. That. And when we freeze them flat. I'll put these away. These were fantastic. Great addition to my kitchen. I've been doing these freezer sort of bag meals for years, and I usually just turn my baggie out like that and balance it. This makes it so much quicker and easier, especially with a really wet marinade. And this one needs a massage because it doesn't have as much liquid. So these these chickens will marinate for as long as they are sitting in this, even in the freezer. Just like that. So again, pesto ranch chicken, that's just going into a glass baking dish and into the oven for about 20 minutes if it's thawed. The apricot chicken is going into the slow cooker for 4 hours. And we'll serve this one with rice, this one with salad, flatbread, yogurt sauce, and this one, oh actually no, that pesto ranch Greek chicken I serve with the flatbread. Pesto ranch I serve with a salad or vegetables usually. Yeah, so pesto ranch, serve it with a salad or vegetables. Can also be served with pasta. Apricot chicken served with rice. Creamy sun-dried tomato, that one will just get cooked in a pot on the stove until the chicken is cooked through, and it gets served with pasta and a little dusting of parmesan. So that's our 3 freezer chicken meals. I'll pop those in the freezer and I'll move on to what I'm going to do with this beef mince. Okay, I've popped my chicken marinades in the freezer while we work on turning this 2 kilos of beef mince into something ready to cook. So I had a look in the freezer. I'm out of burger patties, so I'm going to make probably half of it into burger patties. I want to get 12. So whatever's left after 12 burger patties, I'll roll the rest into meatballs. I do already have a small amount of meatballs in my freezer from when I made my sausage patties for our bacon and egg McMuffins, which I have a video on how to make that. If you're looking for how to make those, I can leave a link for you. So I do have some in there that are meatballs. So I'm thinking whatever meatballs left over from this, plus those, I'll freeze them all raw, and then I'll actually turn that into another slow cooker dump and go meal. Now that will be, I'm thinking a like beef stroganoff ball. So I'm thinking a stroganoff sauce in the slow cooker, put in the frozen meatballs and just serve it with some pasta. So that will make an easy and quick meal, and sort of half of it's probably done. So to do my burger patties, there's no set in stone recipe. I just sort of wing it with the same rough ingredients every time. I like to add vegetables where I can. I don't have any zucchini at the moment, but if I did have some in the garden, I would use at least 1. I'm going to use 2 onions, except I have 3 because these 2 are tiny. I'm going to put them in the food processor, high-speed blender, whatever you want to call that thing, because I want my onions, and I'm going to do some carrots as well. I want my vegetables to be smooth. I want my burgers to be a smooth mix. I don't want them to have lots of chunky bits in it. But sometimes I just chop my vegetables too. I don't always use the food processor to do it. These are the last of my shop bought onions. My onions in my garden are looking very good, very close to being ready to harvest. I cannot wait. It has been the longest 120 days ever waiting for those onions, and I have in my diary October the 2nd. It's not quite October yet, so I've got about 4 days until it's October the 2nd, and then I'll check and see. I know you're supposed to wait until the tops have bent over, are dead. I don't know if I'll be able to wait that long. 120 days, 120? Yeah, 120 days has been a long time for me. So I already have a blade in here. I'm just going to chop my onions there. These are my carrots. Some of them are a little knobbly, but that's okay. I'm just going to chuck in probably 2 decent sized carrots. And I'd throw 1 zucchini in, I'd throw some mushrooms in. I don't have any of those things. So we're just using what we have. Okay, I'm going to get that just finely chopped. Okay. They are finely chopped. I'm going to pop them in my bowl. This mixture is also really nice as a sausage roll filling, and you just would roll it up in some puff pastry, and you can keep those in the freezer raw, or you can cook them and freeze them cooked, or you can just cook them and eat them when you make them. So in this bowl I'm going to add 2 eggs because I'm doing 2 kilos of meat. So 2 eggs. I'm going to add, I'm thinking about a cup of breadcrumbs to start with. These are breadcrumbs we made ourselves. And I've got a few videos, I think, where I show you how to do that. I know in my, I've got a recent video. I did one just recently where I burnt a loaf of bread. French toast video, that's where it'll be. I burnt a loaf of bread, and so I turned some of it into breadcrumbs. So we're using those now. And some all-purpose seasoning. I haven't shown you how to make this yet, but it's coming, I promise. You can just season this with whatever you like though. I like to go a little heavy on the seasoning when it comes to burgers. And that's it. You could add some herbs too if you wanted to. I'm not going to today. Okay, I'm going to clean my hands, and then just to make sure they're super clean because I don't have gloves today. You don't have to use gloves. I like to usually because I don't like the smell of meat on my hands. But yeah, I'm going to wash my hands, and then we're going to mix this and really get it massaged in. Okay, you want to squish. And just get that all really well combined together. I just remembered my super greens. I'm going to add some of this. So I'm just going to wash my hands again and add some super greens. Just my super greens. These are beetroot tops and spinach. Any edible green tops that come out of my garden that would otherwise go to waste. I like to dehydrate them and keep them in a jar. And that just adds a little bit extra vitamins and minerals to my meat, and iron especially. If this mix is feeling too wet, you can add more breadcrumbs. If it's feeling too dry, like it's not going to hold together, especially when you go to cook it, you want to add another egg. So beef mince can have different levels of fat, and that will make it drier or more moist. That's feeling pretty good, like everything's well incorporated. And if I go to form a ball, it's holding together nicely. So let's get these turned into patties. What I have done is I've pre-cut some baking paper. I just need to rip it the other way. That. And what I'm going to do is just get for my burger patties, about a fistful, so a meatball size. You make these as big or as small as you like. And on the paper. And when I've gone to edit this video, I've realised I didn't actually film turning this meat mix into meatballs, but it's the same process. I just used a cookie scoop and then I just rolled them into balls. Okay, we got our burger patties there. Okay, so here we have it. We have our 3 chicken marinade packs. Our meatballs I've added to the other meatballs we already had. All of them are raw, so it's okay to add them to each other. Nothing's been cooked yet. And that now makes enough for a whole serving. They'll get dumped in the crock pot. Apricot chicken will go in the crock pot. Pesto ranch will go in a baking dish in the oven. Creamy sun-dried tomato will go in a pot on the stove. And hiding over here, we have 12 hamburger patties. Now they'll go in the freezer just like this in a Ziploc bag. I will make some bread rolls using the bread roll recipe that I uploaded recently for my white sandwich bread. That's the bread roll recipe I like to use for hamburgers, and we will enjoy these cooked on the barbecue. So if you liked this video today, please consider giving it a thumbs up. Don't forget to share it around with your friends. Help them make yummy food too. Thank you for spending time with me, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye.